In this video, we are going to explore the benefits of combining repeating tasks with automation in SmartSuite. I'm Darren from Workflow Optimize, and we help people to streamline their processes by implementing tools like SmartSuite. For more information and to book a free consultation, visit workflowoptimize.com. Now let me start by showing you the SmartSuite solution that we're going to be using today. It is somewhat overcomplicated for what we are specifically interested in, but I will guide you to the relevant fields as we navigate this solution. So the purpose of this solution is to track employee time off. So as you might expect, we have a table containing employees. And we also have a table containing records of time off requested and taken, which links via a linked record field to the employees. The main table that we are going to be working with today is the leave allocation table. And here each record represents an allocation of a specific leave type to one or more employees. So we can see here that employees were allocated 10 days of sick leave on January 1st, and it appears that they received 2 days of vacation leave on the 1st of the month. If we quickly switch back to look at the employee record, you can see that the general idea of this solution is that employees are allocated leave, they take leave, and then using some linked records and formula fields, we are able to track the amount of leave used and remaining for each employee. We are not going to go into the details of that today, but we are going to automate the process of allocating leave to employees using that combination of repeating tasks and a single automation. Let me take a moment to mention that if you don't yet have a SmartSuite account, you can sign up for free using the affiliate link in the description. Before we jump into the automation, I want to show you two fields that are crucial for what we're doing here. In the allocation table, we have the status field, where the allocated and cancelled values will mark the record as complete, where the pending value will not. The allocation date is a due date field type, which is linked to the status field that we just looked at, and that is going to be important for our repeating task. Now let's set up the automation. From the solution menu, we click on Automations, and the trigger that we're going to use is when a record matches a condition. We are looking at the leave allocation table, and so we are going to set up two conditions. The first is the status field, and we're going to say that that must be equal to pending. The second condition is on the allocation date, specifically the end date, and we want this automation to fire on the allocation date, so we are going to say when the allocation date is today. Okay, now for the action, we want to update records. And SmartSuite assumes that we want to update the trigger, which in this case we do. And we are going to add just one field here to update, and that is the status field. And we will choose from field values and set the status to allocated. Before we save, let's give the automation a meaningful name. And now that we have our automation set, let's schedule a leave allocation. So from the leave allocation table, we're going to create a new record and choose the employees that we want to receive this allocation. Choose a leave type, which also happens to be a linked record field. And then specify the number of days. And for the status field, we will be choosing pending because we're going to be setting a future date for this allocation. Finally, we'll set the allocation date / schedule. We want the next allocation to take place on the 1st of next month. Now we can utilize the repeating task feature to repeat this allocation monthly on the first day of the month. When the repeating task creates the next instance, the allocation date will be a month out from the day that the record is created. Therefore, we want the status to be pending. In this case, I'm going to copy all fields, meaning that aside from the allocation date, everything else will remain the same. It will be the same number of days and linking to the same employee records. And let's save that record. Now we can see in the table that the next allocation of vacation leave for these employees is March 1st. And if we hover over the repeating symbol, the following allocation will be April 1st. When March 1st arrives, this record will match the two conditions that we specified in the automation. So let's imagine for a moment that we've time traveled. The automation will simply change the status from pending to allocated. And that change in status marks our record as complete, and this in turn triggers the repeating task to create a new record according to the schedule, which in this case will make it April 1st. And when that date arrives, the process repeats. So allocating employee vacation is now on autopilot. Say a new employee joins, we can add them to this pending allocation, and from this date forward, they will be included. Let's create another record for the sick leave. In this example, we have just a handful of employees and we are treating them all the same. But in reality, things can be more complicated. Perhaps we have some full and part-time employees with different leave entitlements. The beauty of this approach is that we don't need to set up a separate automation for each circumstance. We just need one automation and the repeating tasks take care of the rest. If we head back into our employee table and open a record, we see the pending leave allocations here. One of the great things about SmartSuite is that provided we configure the permissions appropriately, this information can be opened up to the employee, their manager and HR so that everyone is on the same page. Obviously, we've looked at a very specific use case today, and I'm curious if you're already using repeating tasks with automation in this way, what are your use cases? Or if watching this has sparked an idea for you, please let us know in the comments. I do hope that you found something useful in this video. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching.